of 16 exit against the Netherlands in Qatar, and the road to 2026 begins here in LA as the US men's national team kicks off the new year here against Serbia. The referee is from Jamaica, Daniel Parchment, his fourth US game, most recently refereeing the 2-1 win against Costa Rica of World Cup qualifying last October. We are underway at the newly named BMO Stadium, home of the NWSL's Angel City and the MLS Cup champions, LAFC. Serbia in the white, the US in the blue today. And do you remember how you were feeling the first few minutes of your debut back in '02?
Very nervous indeed. I just don't give the ball away the first time you get it. That's all I was saying in my head.
Anthony Hudson taking a two-game approach to this because players, of course, are still getting into their fitness. Simic down the right side, looking for Joveljic early on, but across comes Jalen Neal, just 19 years old, hasn't even made his MLS debut yet for LA Galaxy as he plays at the back tonight. Not many better players to be alongside at the back than someone like Walker Zimmerman, who captains the US tonight for the 7th time. He'll be helping Jalen Neal through on his debut here. Serbia with the early throw. Mijalovic down the right side. Will come back to Stojic at the back. Heavy domestic influence. All the players in this lineup, apart from the 3 in Major League Soccer, do play their club soccer at home in Serbia. The top 2 teams in Serbia, Red Star Belgrade and Partizan Belgrade, not releasing their players for this match as they prepare to open their second half of their season after their winter break on February 4th.
Brandon Vasquez right there. I mean, those are the moments all game long in transition, checks to get the ball. You absolutely have to keep the ball in those scenarios.
Zimmerman playing it inside towards Aidan Morris of Columbus, one of the debutants here tonight. Neal. Played forward by Gomez and into touch. Talk about the debuts, but also a few players just a second cap. Gomez is one of them, Pomykal as well. Played back by Topic and picked up in the midfield, middle of the back line, I should say, by Veselinovic, who makes his second appearance for his country, the Vancouver Whitecaps defender. Serbia not making it out of the group stage at the World Cup, finishing bottom, losing 2-0 to Brazil. With that incredible Richarlison finish, there was the wonderful 3-3 tie with Cameroon, and then they lost 3-2 against Switzerland, but none of their squad from Qatar available to be involved in this game. Morris turning well in midfield as he brings it up towards halfway. And across for Paxton Pomykal. Gomez down the left side, the teenager linking up here with Kay Cowell, the San Jose man. Here's Neal. Crossfield ball cut out over there on the left. Veselinovic away towards halfway, where Gressel will pick it up, but it's now in the feet of Vladimir Lucic. 20-year-old winger on that left side, finds Petrovic, the fullback, back towards Lucic, and the US having to get back quickly as Serbia get their opening corner 3 minutes in.
That all starts with an underhit diagonal ball. And you see Morris just trying his best to get out there and get some pressure on the ball so it can't be served in. Well done right there, and the recovering there from Senora to get back.
Simic, the captain, plays for Vojvodina in Serbia. Will go across to take this one. The right foot delivery incoming towards the front post, and it's flicked on all the way towards Joveljic. Yes! And they want another corner. They'll get one from the Jamaican referee, Daniel Parchment. A few nervous moments in the box here.
Yeah, I don't know who it's Morris. Just watch him recover. And just as it comes out, Neal in the end is the one that's able to get in front of it. A little shout for a handball, possibly too.
They've gone short here as it comes back out to Lukic. Now the US can bring it away towards halfway, and it's off the foot of the 27-year-old Simic.
It's just such a dangerous ball and so difficult to defend, and just that slight touch there. Slonina, actually, I think was able to fingertip that away from going into the far post. But really dangerous opportunity there for Serbia.
Homikal gets a foot in, but it's picked up in the midfield here. Petkovic. Go backwards towards Stojic. Emmanuel Stojic, the 25-year-old defender. Turning it back to the New England Revolution goalkeeper, Georgi Petrovic, who is making his second appearance for his country here after a wonderful season for New England Revolution, replacing the US international keeper Matt Turner when he made the move to Arsenal. Ended up with 7 clean sheets last year and 21 starts. This is his second appearance, having made his debut back in January of 21. What a season he had, though, for the Revs. He was in the conversation for MLS Goalkeeper of the Year and MLS Newcomer of the Year. Serbia starting well, linking up well going forward, and it's out once again to Simic, the captain, down the right side. Nikola Petkovic, just 19 years of age. Ball through from Topic down the right side. The fullback Mijalovic gets the cross in, and an early claim there for Gaga Slanina.
Excellent start from Serbia. They do not look like a young and experienced side right now. I'm a bit surprised. I'll say that obviously there's a bit of a math problem here, and playing 2 games in quick succession and having a lot of players that have to make it 90 minutes, and with the substitutions, Anthony Hudson talked about how he's got to think about both of these games. But in this medium block and not putting pressure on this young Serbian side, at least out of the gate, I'm just surprised they haven't. The U.S. team showed a little more intensity to try to throw Serbia off their rhythm early on.
And it hasn't been as long a camp as some of the January camps used to be. I know you said yesterday when we turned up at training you were getting flashbacks to all the running that used to do, the early fitness.
Yeah, more like PTSD. Yeah,
the opening,
all the fitness you had to do day one.
Weeks of the year. This has only been a camp since last Friday, and some players arrived later than that as well. So they haven't been able to do a lot of that fitness. Some of these players played their first pre-season game back with their clubs as the MLS pre-seasons got underway before they came into US camp. So that's something that Hudson has to think about over the course of this next couple of games. Played down the left side, Cade Cowell will chase onto it here. Up against Mijalovic. Cowell with the ball along the edge of the box, which is cleared and picked up by Luka Ilic. Lucic. Got the fullback Petrovic making the run on the outside there. Gressel going across to do the defending.
By the way, that little transition, a poor ball into the box, and Aiden Morris, that's where Tyler Adams is so incredible for Leeds and for country. He always is reading where that ball can turn over, and he wins that ball that Aiden Morris just wasn't in the right position. He was thinking more about supporting than where are we weak if we give this ball away.
Tyler Adams might be getting another US teammate at Leeds. Weston McKennie linked heavily with a move from Juventus to Leeds United. Simic with this ball down the right side as he curls the cross in. Zimmerman can head it away. And then Cowell gets the further distance on it as Stojic heads the ball out to the right side, and Marko Mijalovic threads that pass through, and just on the edge of the box, Petkovic and Mijalovic can link up here in the white jerseys of Serbia. Serbia ranked 29th in the world. That ball flicked out to the far side. Lucic into the middle, and Slanina will be able to pick it up. Anthony Hudson is the man in charge today, the US assistant coach since 2021. He was an under-20 head coach before that. Also led New Zealand for 3 or 4 years, reached the 2017 Confederation Cup with them. He was the boss of Bahrain as well. So he does have the experience. He talked about it being a difficult situation as he had pretty much been in constant communication with Greg Berhalter over the course of the last few years, and then all of a sudden the role changed completely.
Yeah, he talked about how strange it feels, and it must. I guess the positive is he knows the system. He's helped install it, and Julie talked in pregame about yesterday in training. He told us, and he told the players, he's not going to overload them with ideas. Try to keep it simple and let them go enjoy themselves.
Gomez with that balled in down the left side, and it goes off Mijalovic there for the throw. Jonathan Gomez, the 19-year-old. 16 appearances this year for Real Sociedad B. He's been playing regularly of late. They didn't have a World Cup break. And we're into the 10th minute of play. There's Dragan Stojkovic, who has led Serbia since March of 2021. Managed club teams in Japan and China before taking the Serbia job.
What a player he was.
Yep. 84 caps, 15 goals for Yugoslavia as a player. A couple of World Cups in there in 90 and 98.
Oh, you can't see it. He's off the picture of it. He just took that ball off his chest, juggled a little bit. Just as we say that, he shows us he's still got it.
As we saw from yourself and DeMarcus Beasley in the pre-game show there with the footwork, the ducking out of the way in the midst of the Serbia warm-ups. Here's Paxton Pomykal down the left side. A bit of space for Gomez to carry it forward. Back out for Gomez. Serbia getting the numbers back pretty quickly there as it's headed down by Joveljic. Joveljic scoring in this stadium in the Western Conference semi-final. Final LA Galaxy game of the season last year. They lost 3-2 to LAFC. Tied the game at 2-2 pretty late, then LAFC scored a winner in stoppage time. Gressel down the right side. Vancouver teammate of Veselinovic, the Serbia central defender. Sonura, the ball into the middle for Vasquez. Vasquez now with an opportunity to drill that one in as it goes off Veselinovic. And across comes Gomez. Cowell linking up with Gomez down the left, but the ball will come backwards and picked up by Jalen Neal. Anthony Hudson saying that Neal is comfortable on the ball. He's brought a calmness and confidence, felt he was really ready for this moment despite only being 19 years old. Played once in the US Open Cup early rounds last year for the Galaxy. The second match of these two this week in the LA area will be in Carson, California against Colombia on Saturday. Dignity Health Sports Park, home of Jalen Neal and the LA Galaxy.
That was much better right there from Aiden Morris.
Great ball over the top from Gressel, and Cowell will give chase, but it's hooked away by Serbia. Simic down the right side, under pressure quickly from Gomez. And the referee giving the free kick here the way of Serbia. As well as that World Cup qualifier, the other games Stadium Parchment has taken charge of, a 1-1 tie between the US and Chile back in 2019 in Houston, and a 2-0 loss in Canada in the CONCACAF Nations League back in October of 2019. First home game for the US since the 5-0 win over Grenada in the Nations League in Austin last June. Pressure being put on there and almost causing problems after the run from Vasquez. Comes back for Brandon Vasquez, and he steers it wide of that far post.
This is exactly what I meant about Preston. This starts with Tanea, who just goes alone. None of the other U.S. players are going with him, and finally Vasquez catches up with him. But just that simple bit of pressure forces this turnover, and now all of a sudden they're on the front foot. This is, with this young team, what I want to see at the beginning of this, and watch as this ball gets squared. Vasquez, this is a really difficult skill. Keep your plant foot out of the way, and he just doesn't catch great contact, slices it a little bit. Good opportunity there for the U.S. just off of one little turnover by pressing the ball.
And Vasquez, subject of interest from Mexico, was in the MLS Best 11 in 2022. 18 goals and 8 assists in 33 matches as Cincinnati made the playoffs for the first time. Scored in the playoffs as well. Got the winner in a round 1 game against the Red Bulls.
You go inside. Don't be on the same line.
And you just heard it on the mics. Don't go on the same line. What they mean in Berhalter's system, you know, the fullback and the winger can't be in the same line. It's so easy to defend. And just screaming at them. They're not getting that sequencing in the wide positions right.
Lucic down the left side as Zimmerman goes across and puts it out of play. Walker Zimmerman's 38th appearance for his country, having made his debut back in 2017. goal for Zimmerman almost a year ago in World Cup qualifying against Honduras, that cold night in St. Paul. Let's head downstairs. Melissa Ortiz is by the benches.
Yesterday we had a moment to speak to Gaga Slonina, and we asked him what did it mean to represent the country for the first time, and he said he wanted to treat it with the utmost professionalism and pride, and wearing the badge is a moment that he was going to hold very special in his heart, and being that he's the youngest goalkeeper to feature for the U.S. men's national team. Now, the most thing that stood out to me was he also said he was trying to reward the country with hopefully medals in the future. And now we talk about Walker Zimmerman, and he had mentioned that in the pregame that being in the World Cup, he was able to show the country that it's a team that's able to compete with the best. And so to see this young generation, from Gaga to the other young players, not only seeing it, but believing it, that they could bring the country medals in the future, is an incredible feature to see.
Slonina's second camp. He was in the January camp last year, but didn't play. Could have played for Poland, of course, but decided to commit to the United States. And he said already, 3 weeks in at Chelsea, he feels as if he's a better goalkeeper, having been able to train every day alongside some of the best in his position in the world.
Well, you're forced to get good fast when you're in those scenarios.
Slonina naming Manuel Neuer and Petr Cech as two of the goalkeepers that he looked up to as he was growing up. Says he has to trust the path and be patient as to how long it takes him to get his opportunity in England. Joveljic turning that ball forward down the left for Lucic. Vladimir Lucic, the 20-year-old winger, back inside for Joveljic, and then closed down quickly.
That was a risky step, but a good one. Yeah, it had to intercept that one, Neil. If that one got in behind, the U.S. were in really poor position to recover and put pressure on the ball.
Gressel down the right side. This is Sonura. Jalen Neal. Morris. Back for Neal. And Joveljic will turn this forward quickly. Gressel was able to close down. Zendejas on the far side. Zendejas, 24 years old, born in Mexico. A goal and an assist on Saturday in Liga MX against Puebla for Club America in a 2-2 tie. He is a player who can excite, he can get fans off their seats. Quite a goal he scored at the weekend after an excellent apertura.
Very frustrating game for him so far. He's now starting to drift into the middle, which actually just doesn't exactly fit into the system. The whole point of how they want to play, and you could say Pep Guardiola as a sort of blueprint of what they want to do. It's about holding your position wide when you're a winger. But he's a 10. He wants to be on the ball. He gets into the game by getting touches, and every time he tucks in, they're shrinking the field, and they have no width over that side.
There's width on the right side here for Serbia. Mijalovic has it down this right flank. Joveljic battling for it with Neal.
Look at how narrow the field is right now. This is right now the player that's supposed to be giving you width, and now they can't look over on the right. There's no way to break down this team and attack the space.
And Yora's ball through the middle for Cade Cowell. He wasn't too far away. The best move of the game for the United States, 19 minutes in. And Cade Cowell on his second cap, going close.
Watch it. He's wide in this position right now. He's going to go out of your screen. But watch this late run, and the fullback just late, doesn't see it. Center back recovering. What a fantastic first touch to get it out from his feet right there. Second one just prepares it. It takes a little bobble in the end, so it gets a little more top spin than side spin. Really good effort there from Cowell.
Georgi Petrovic would have had it covered there in the goal. Petrovic's Rev's teammate, Dejuan Jones, is on the US roster for this one. If not tonight, I'm sure we'll see him on Saturday. against Colombia. After the game against Colombia on Saturday, there are Nations League games in March at Grenada and home to El Salvador. The US will win the group by beating El Salvador, regardless of what happens in that Grenada result. And then, of course, later in the year, there's the Gold Cup, which starts on June the 24th. Draw for that coming on April the 14th. So, despite there being no World Cup qualifying to look forward to in this cycle, still plenty for this team to play for as they defend those championships, the Gold Cup and the Nations League, which, of course, they managed to win against Mexico in the finals of both of those.
They got to treat those almost like qualifiers without the stakes of qualifying for a World Cup. You know, sometimes the artificial pressure comes from those tournaments throughout the year.
Neal gets it back from Vasquez. Serbia with everyone back behind the ball as the US go down the left with Cowell. Morris. Zimmerman played 90 minutes in 3 games at the World Cup, plus a substitute appearance in the final group game against Iran. Knows this stadium well, of course, following his 2 years with LAFC. Supporters' Shield winner with them. Gressel's ball down the right. Sonura tucks it inside here for Morris, who has a bit of space. Cowell and Gomez both wide on the left. It'll go all the way to the touchline here for Jonathan Gomez, who is forward from the back. The two teenagers linking up here. Cowell. Morris. Neal down the line for Cowell. Cade Cowell's ball in. Vasquez couldn't get on the end of it, and Petrovic just gets there ahead of Alejandro Zendejas.
Now they're forcing Simic and Lucic to defend in areas they don't want to. And those players that have been good when the U.S. have given the ball away and they're receiving it in space are now not tracking their runners. That's that combo in the wide positions they have to keep going to. When I meant about not being on the same line, you'll see in this sequence right here where Cowell and Gomez, they force decisions between these players, and that's a wonderful ball. Very, very dangerous as it's curling into that far post. Goalkeeper Petrovic just frozen for a second. But what we mean by not being on the same line, it's not the same passing line. If one player can defend and close both of them out, they're not forcing the fullback and the winger for Serbia to make decisions. And so it's that interchanging of inverting as a fullback or inverting as a winger, but never at the same time, that creates that dynamism in wide positions. It's really hard to defend. In a few moments, Serbia's really struggling with that.
The midway mark in the opening half of the 2023 year for this US men's national team. Petkovic, the 19-year-old in the midfield, going backwards for Veselinovic. Aidan Morris with a foot in. Gressel going backwards for Zimmerman. The last meeting between these teams back in January of 2017 was the first match of the year for the US then as well. Finished 0-0. Walker Zimmerman, the only player involved today that was in the squad. He didn't play that night, but did make his debut a few days later in that camp. Veljko Simic in space down the right side. Played back inside for Mirko Topic. 21-year-old gets it back under a lot of pressure, and the referee lets that one go as Serbia asks for a free kick. Aidan Morris carrying it forward. Zendejas to the right side. Morris goes for goal! And that's a good save from Georgi Petrovic as it's played back in towards Vasquez. And now the flag goes up for a corner.
Well done, Morris. Just a pressure, maybe a slight tug. Don't really see a foul there, and Vasquez does a good job of going to the left, and these center backs now are split between, do they get into wide positions, and Morris hits that really well, and he has to, because Zendejas in a wide position. He doesn't get a good effort on goal. He's going to get an earful from him, but what a save there from Petrovic to palm it wide.
Alan Seniora standing over this one. Sonura's outswinger towards the penalty spot. Drops to Brandon Vasquez, who turns it around the corner.
And Vasquez at the end of that play. Here's another look at it. You know, and what makes that such a tough save is he slices it. You know, watch the spin of the panels. It starts taking that away from Petrovic, who's got to get it full extension. Does a good job pumping it away. And at the end of that chance, too, ball got curled back, and Vasquez switched off for a moment. He might have had a good opportunity on the second chance. But that's better from the U.S. there, and Morris now finding those positions to be able to disrupt that Serbian team and create those counterattacks.
Serbia started on the front foot through the opening 10 minutes or so, but this young U.S. side is growing into the game as it continues. And now they have 55% of the possession through the opening 25 minutes of this one.
The shape looks a lot better, too.
You would expect some growing pains, wouldn't you, in terms
of
the youth of this side? And as you said, you were nervous day one when you got your opportunity.
Yeah, Bruce's system was a lot easier to understand right away. Fantastic manager, but it wasn't a complicated way to play. This one takes a little time to get used to.
Cal looking lively, cutting into the box here as it's an opportunity. Zendejas can't get on the edge of it. And Serbia will bring it clear down the right side. Mirko Topic. Joveljic with the back heel into the path of Veljko Simic. And now it comes all the way to Ilic.
Good little opportunity. Just a little too far in front of Pamukal. But this is what I want to see. Young players not afraid to take on defenders, not afraid to play vertical, not afraid to try and make a difference. It's easy to come into camp and try not to give the ball away, but that's not what Anthony Hudson's going to want to see. He wants to see players that want to take the ball at their feet and make a difference in the game.
Pamukal on the ball right now. The Dallas man turning it backwards for Jalen Neal. Seven debuts tonight. Zimmerman, the only player with multiple caps coming into this match. 4 teenagers, 9 under the age of 25. Zimmerman and Gressel, 2 29-year-olds. 7 players in the starting lineup for the US from MLS clubs. And a couple of debutants who played in the CONCACAF Under-20 Championship last summer. Neal and Cowell, as the US won that to qualify for the U20 World Cup. Let's head back downstairs. Melissa, what are you hearing down there?
Luke, you mentioned ago about growing pains. Now, this is a team that is learning to synchronize. And interim head coach Anthony Hudson is down here saying to stay connected, stay compact defensively, and offensively wants Caden Cowell to get as wide as possible.
Gressel down the right side. What a ball. That is Vasquez with a header. And the US have their opening goal of 2023. And it goes to Brandon Vasquez, who gets his first goal for his country, following on for a wonderful club season last year. Great link-up play with a cross, perfection into the middle, and Vasquez finishes it.
What a ball here from Gressel. Watch Vasquez in between the center backs, just drift into the blind spot of the center back, and really good early ball here from Gressel. That's a difficult header. No pressure on the ball from Serbia. That's a wonderful finish there. Just watch him snap it. He's already past that near post, so he's got to generate power on that in order to beat the goalkeeper far post, and Petrovic nowhere near that one. We talked before the game about Brandon Vasquez working on his game after the disappointment of not getting to go with the team to Qatar, and his coach Pat Noonan has said his growth has been tremendous and working on in between the 18-yard box as he did just there. Wonderful finish.
Of course, former teammates in Atlanta linking up. Julian Gressel with the cross. Part of Atlanta's 2018 MLS Cup winning squad. Gressel on his debut. And Vasquez, the 57th US men's national team player to score on his international debut. Neal. Sonyura. Petrovic down the left side, up to Joveljic. This is a good run forward from Serbia as the way opens up a little bit. Nemanja Petrovic bringing this one into the box. It's pulled back and Slonina tries to keep it out. What a stop from Slonina. Serbia won the goal. Simic was in there. They think they've done enough to get this over the line.
Poor giveaway there. And Neal, I think he's a little late to try to go slide over and put pressure, and just choosing the wrong moment to do so. And how about that save? Just a little deflection there, pops the ball up and almost over him. I love that from Slonina to reach back. Watch this from Slonina. It just takes that little hit in the back of the head. And that's what's kept him down. It's hard to see how difficult that was and how hard the contact was on the back of his head. But how about that from Slonina, just reaching back, keeping that ball from going over the line. Very good save.
Some concern here for Slonina as he gets treatment, having made that stop. Sean Johnson is the other keeper available tonight. There were 3 goalkeepers in the squad. Roman Celentano, the Cincinnati keeper, hasn't dressed for this one. Sean Johnson, the veteran keeper, unattached at the moment.
Yeah, we watched training yesterday, and they worked a lot on movement without the ball. And that's been one area. You see him getting checked by the doctors right now, Slonina. But that's one area that it's just really difficult in such a short time period to get shape without the ball and transition and stuff locked in. And that's been one area that I think the U.S. in transition has shown their inexperience and their youth. You can hear the crowd. They want this teenager to continue.
Gaga Slonina, the former Chicago Fire goalkeeper who left for Chelsea in England. Made his debut back on January 13th for Chelsea in Premier League 2. Got a clean sheet in that game, a 2-0 win against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And what a way to introduce yourself as the youngest ever goalkeeper with the US men's national team, with that stop, just clawing it away from the line. And as you saw on the replay, it definitely didn't cross the line there. The oohs and ahs as the replay is shown on the screen here in stadium. But some more defending to do here as Zimmerman gets up high to head it away. Gressel putting pressure on. Joveljic down the right side. The Galaxy man, who's a super sub last year for Greg Vanny's side. The cross-in is a decent one, off the head of Neal. Joveljic towards the back post. Let's take another look at the goal that has the US in front here.
And we watched Gressel in training yesterday at the end, just serve ball after ball like that. But this will give you a sense of just the intelligent movement, gets into the blind spot of the defender and just at the right moment sprints in front of Stojic and beats him to that near post. Timing perfect, the ball in, has a little bit of curl on it, has pace on it, so that Vasquez can nod it to the far post. What a way to start a new cycle, especially in that position where the opportunity exists, as we said before the game. Wonderful finish.
That was our AT&T 5G net cam. Been a busy couple of weeks here for the US men's and women's national teams. This is the kickoff for the US men, but the women getting their World Cup year underway. last week in New Zealand. A couple of big victories for Vlatko Andonovski's side, 4-0 and 5-0. What a great experience it was for them to go into New Zealand, play in a couple of the stadiums that they'll play in the World Cup this coming summer. Minutes to go until half-time. Brandon Vasquez with the only goal. Led MLS last year with 6 headed goals last season. Mijalovic down the right side. Alternative battle of the two players with number 10 on their jersey there as Simic comes away with it. Joveljic rolls that one backwards. Petkovic has it. Vladimir Lucic on the left, up against Gressel. Lucic rolled into the edge of the box. Neat movement here, and it's an opportunity. Another save coming away as Vladina after the strike from Veljko Simic. And the US able to get it away as Vasquez puts it into the feet here of Alejandro Zendejas. He's fouled.
Well, watch this dummy. Simic tried this, if you remember, a few minutes back, and there was no one behind him. But this time, what a combination.
Alan Sonora. Morris was looking for that ball through to Zendejas. Didn't quite come off that time. But Serbia have shown the threat they have. They can attack at pace. They've got quality as well. Just haven't found that final product yet. Through the middle they go with Luka Ilic, the 23-year-old. Simic down the right side. All the way over to Lucic on the left. He's got support from the back from Nemanja Petrovic. Lucic. Morris looked like he was fouled there, the referee agrees. Mentioned earlier, a lot of players play their club soccer domestically in Serbia, where Red Star are actually 10 points clear of Partizan at the top after 19 games. Red Star Belgrade winning 17 of their 19 matches, so it's a bit of a non-contest at the top of the Serbian league. None of the players from those teams are here today.
You know, Luke, I think the important thing, when I've talked to some of my friends that are former players, they are fans of Serbian national team, is it's the youth with such an inexperienced roster. You know, one reason is to try to showcase these players, to get them into other leagues, to give them opportunities to be in great environments, to try to break into that first team.
A lot of these players have got experience with the youth teams. They failed to qualify for the Euro Under-21s, finished third in their qualifying group behind France and Ukraine. So they won't be at the tournament in Romania and Georgia later in the year. Space down the left side here with Cowell. Out of play it goes off Veljko Simic. And it's a corner here for the US, which Sonora will come across to take.
Cowell's had a good half early on, and being on the manager's side, being yelled at and given some direction. He's grown into the game, and he's started to prove to be a handful.
Nikola Petkovic will take this corner from the left side. The outswinger comes out to that far side, and it's an opportunity. Vasquez couldn't get on the end of it. Sonora's corner into the middle. Zimmerman climbing.
And it just comes through. You see it's right out of his reach, but watch Gressel's reaction. Yeah, it gets missed a few times. Neil can't believe it, but right there, Gressel, just leave it. I'm sure he got a shout. A good number 9 is almost never going to leave that, but it was just out of his reach, and Gressel could have buried that chance.
Neil across the back for Zimmerman. help or hindrance, by the way, playing on the side where your manager is when you're a young player?
Yeah, I would always pretend not to hear them, but yeah.
But difficult when you're right there.
Yeah, it's good in this situation, and there's a lot to learn. And I really like how the fullback and the winger, Cowell and Gomez, now have that understanding, and it's been really hard for Simic. I mean, look how often he's having to recover, and that just takes the gas out of his ability to go and be effective in the attacking third as well.
Inside the final 5 minutes of the first half here at BMO Stadium. Nikola Petkovic has it down the left side. And now Vladimir Lucic. When they get forward, they do so at pace and with numbers. They like to get their fullbacks forward during the attack. Coach Beard in attendance here tonight.
We got Alexei behind him. That little U.S. legend right there.
Coach Beard gets the front row, though.
Yeah, he's got a better hoodie on.
Space on the left here. Cade Cowell is giving chase. Cowell making his debut as a substitute against Bosnia-Herzegovina back in December of 2021. Played 12 minutes that day. The Earthquakes' homegrown player. Morris. Now Cowell with a little bit of space here. He's got support from Gomez down the left side. Play through for Pomykal.
Pomykal runs into Gomez's space a little bit. Right here, you can see Gomez is really the person that can benefit from that ball with the angle he's running at. Pomykal kind of runs into a space, not only brings the defender, but that's a really tough ball to wait with a straight run in behind the back there. But on this near side, the U.S. definitely looking the most dangerous in these movements.
Joveljic. Is he fouled there? I think he is. Pomykal doesn't like it. But the LA Galaxy man going down just outside the box. Set a Galaxy record last year for most goals scored by a substitute in a single MLS regular season with 9. But was he fouled here by the Dallas man? I'm not sure he was.
Yeah, he just sticks a leg out right there. He just kicks the back of his foot. Yeah, Pomykal, it's smart there from Joveljic. He knows that the ball's a little behind him. He's not going to be able to take it with him, so just kind of sticks that leg out. And Pomykal made that huge recovering run. He was tired. That's just a lazy leg to toe poke it. Big opportunity here for Serbia at the end of the half.
Slanina managing the wall there. Gomez the one laying down.
The way Illich grabbed this, Luke, he's the only one, I think, that takes this one, starting it outside the wall, that beautiful left foot.
Illich, one of the 3 players standing there. Mirko Topic as well, but you're right, it's Illich! And it's in! Wonderful free kick just before half-time. Serbia are level. And Luka Illich, the player to curl it around the wall and into the bottom corner.
I'll say, it's hard to tell from here, Luke, if that went around the wall or through it. We'll get a good look here. And it goes through it. You kind of can't believe at that height and the pace that was on that it beats the U.S. goalkeeper around the wall, and that wall just breaks too easily. You know, right there. And it's the veteran Walker Zimmerman that just jumps and leaves the defender next to him. It looked like it might have been Gressel, and there's really nothing the young goalkeeper can do about that.
Strong challenge from Ranko Veselinovic there.
It's actually not a good. It's not a good free kick. That should just go right into the wall. You know, and the thing about when you're at this point in the modern game, it looks funny, but when you put someone behind the wall, lying on the ground, that means you don't have to jump, you know, all that much anymore. And obviously, if you jump, it's going to hit them, and that's why people are doing it. But it's, you don't have to leave. You don't have to leave the wall. You got to trust you've got enough covered, and trust your goalkeeper to make the save if it beats the person lying on the ground. And if you're going to jump, it's just got to be straight up now that you have someone underneath you.
Coming up, it's the Volkswagen halftime show with Sarah Walsh, Julie Foudy, and DeMarcus Beasley. Serbia getting back into this one, an entertaining first 45 minutes. Ilic with the goal to make it 1-1. On loan from Troyes in France at TSC Vajka Topola in his native country. This is taken quickly down that right side. Troubling Petrovic there from Zendejas. What will Anthony Hudson be thinking about what he's seen from his side here?
I think it's overall positives. He'll be furious they gave up a goal like that, though.
And here comes Serbia once again down the left flank. Nemanja Petrovic into the middle. Zimmerman heads it away. Zendejas has it for the US. Gomez carries it forward to halfway. He's got Cade Cowell racing forward down the left side. Gomez was fouled. Referee plays on as Cade Cowell cuts into the middle. The second ball on the pitch right there, and the referee will have to call a halt to play. We're a minute into the 4 being added on at the end of the half.
You know, for me, obviously the goal, it takes the wind out of their sails and some of the positives away of the first half. But the player in the first half I was most impressed with, you wouldn't notice him much. I've been watching him because he's been off camera. But Jalen Neal has been excellent. I've been super impressed with how calm he is on the ball and his positioning off of it. Look at him right there. It just when you see his face, you know he's an inexperienced young player. But when you watch him from up here, and you don't know how young he is, he moves like a veteran player. Just calm, not rushed, trying to play vertical every time. He's had a lot of great entry passes into the midfield, playing between the lines. Yeah, he's just had 1 or 2 moments where he hasn't made the right decision, but overall, I think he's had a great half.
Nemanja Petkovic floating this one long. Gomez is underneath it. Put in there from Nikola Petkovic. Petrovic. Now Lucic. This is Mirko Topic. Morris is down hurt, and then the foul coming from Sonyura, but the referee pulling that one back for a free kick to the US. US haven't beaten Serbia before. 3 previous encounters, 2 defeats and a draw. That encompasses their time as Yugoslavia as well. Played, of course, at the '98 World Cup in France. US losing 1-0 in Nantes. Yugoslavia in that tournament advanced second in the group, beaten by the Netherlands in Toulouse in the round of 16. Zimmerman with the crossfield ball looking to pick out Cowell, but it's cut out there by Mijalovic. Thrown quickly down the line to Cowell from Gomez. About 90 seconds left in the half as Ilic looks wide to the left. There's plenty of space here for Vladimir Lucic, the 20-year-old running at pace at the US back line, and just as he poked that through, there was no one really anywhere close to getting on the end of it. But a quick break there from Serbia.
Yeah, I know that Bees and Jules, we were talking about being surprised that Serbia came out in this formation. You typically think of them as a back 5, or you could call it a back 3, and played that way during the tournament. But Marcus made a great point of the youth team has played this formation, and they look comfortable in it. But I think overall, U.S. did start the game well, most of the half.
And of course, has just joined LAFC as a free agent, so this will be his home moving forward in Major League Soccer. And half and half for Zimmerman and Long today. Maybe we'll see them start together against Colombia at the weekend.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. It's a tough position for these managers to be in such a short time period, to have this team short time period between games, and so you're going to see a lot of shuffling, and Anthony Hudson's got to be looking at Colombia thinking that that's going to be the more difficult challenge between these two teams.
So referee Daniel Parchment of Jamaica gets this second half underway. And the US having led in the 29th minute through Brandon Vasquez getting his first goal for the country off a Julian Gressel assist. Gressel also on his debut. Tied up late in the half when Luka Ilic was able to curl the ball through the wall from a free kick. And it's 1-1. The first of two games being played in the LA area this week. The US training out at the home of LA Galaxy in Carson, California, where they will play against Colombia at the weekend. This is Jalen Neal under pressure, and it's an opportunity early on for Serbia as Simic scores. It's 2-1. They've come from behind, and within a minute of the restart here, the US trail. Veljko Simic, the captain, with the goal.
Oh man, commentators curse after praising Jalen Neal. And watch as this ball gets sent up. No one challenges the first one. And Jalen Neal at this point, he paused. I don't know if he expected Gomez to come take the ball, but just that slight hesitation. Here's a better look at it. Just late to go challenge the ball. Neal's got to commit. One of the center backs needs to commit to challenging that first ball. And just that momentary hesitation right there after Neal has that ball go in behind him, and just really well done there from Simic to capitalize on that, take a touch through and bury the chance calmly.
Veljko Simic with his first international goal. He'll turn 28 next month. Gets his first chance to play for his country. His team Vojvodina, fifth in the Serbian Superliga. He's been with them since January of 2021, having played in Switzerland, also played for Red Star Belgrade as well. He's waited a long time for his opportunity to play with the senior national team and captaining the team tonight. He gets the goal that gives them the 2-1 advantage, coming just a minute after half-time. It was Serbia that started the game on the front foot, and they've done the same at the start of this second half here.
And young players are going to learn pretty quickly. Zimmerman maybe still out there, goes to challenge for that first ball, but at the international level, these tiny hesitations, and to have two in a row, you're just going to have teams punish you if you're not sure of where you're supposed to be, the positioning, the play you got to make. The ball was in the air for a long time. There was plenty of time to make a challenge on it.
Slonina straight out of play as he was under pressure there from Nikola Stolic. Stolic coming on at half-time to replace Topic, the midfielder, and Stolic has gone right through the middle. So maybe Joveljic playing a little wider now in the second half. Veselinovic forward. Gressel got his first assist on his debut on that Vasquez goal. Here's a free kick for the foul.
Yeah, and look, this is a great opportunity to see how this young team reacts. In a way, you don't want things to go too easy for an inexperienced side that comes in and maybe has a false understanding and a false comfort for how the jump up is and what's needed at the level. So this is a great opportunity. Yeah, two errors for the U.S. in clinical finishing for Serbia, and now they're down in the matter of minutes, the end of the first half, beginning of the second half.
Gomez battling for it on the far side, picked up by Cade Cowell, and this will be a free kick. 10 yards or so outside the box in the 5th minute of the second half. Nemanja Stojic with the foul on Jonathan Gomez. Neal is forward from the back. Aaron Long is in there as well. And it's Alan Senora standing over this free kick. The referee moving that wall right back to the edge of the area. Can Sonura deliver this onto the head of one of the waiting players? It is swung in, and that's an easy claim in the end for Dragan Rosic, the goalkeeper who came on at half-time. He'll look to get things going quickly out towards that right side for Mijalovic. Away by Rosic. With Petkovic going off, it leaves just the two capped players on the pitch for Serbia coming into this game. There's the three MLS players, Petrovic of New England, Veselinovic of Vancouver, and Joveljic as well. But here's an opportunity for another one. The flag is up though. It won't count. And Nikola Stolic denied by the flag from the far side, having just come into this game at half-time.
And Sonura had his legs kicked out from underneath him when he played that square pass, and that's probably what Anthony Hudson's talking to the referee's assistant about.
A test of character then for this young US team, having led in the first half just before the half-hour mark, conceding 2 minutes before half-time and a minute after it. Serbia's biggest moment, of course, at the youth level, 2015, when they won the Under-20 World Cup, beat Brazil in the final by 2-1 after extra time in Auckland, led, of course, by Veljko Paunovic, who went on to coach Chicago Fire. They actually beat the United States on penalties in the quarter-final of that tournament. Ariola, who is in the squad, played that day, scored his penalty.
Yeah, they're going to be interesting for Anthony Hudson, the discipline he shows, and that he's committing to a game plan of knowing the Colombia game's coming quickly, but you want to win. You want to win games, so you wonder if that changed the way he thinks about some of the substitutions.
Here's Cade Cowell running at Mijalovic on the far side, all the way across there for Sonura to chase. Back for Julian Gressel. Gressel picks out that far side, and Cowell couldn't get there ahead of Marko Mijalovic. Still an opportunity here, though, for Cade Cowell. Morris couldn't get on the end of that one, turned forward by Stolic. Morris is able to win it back. Gomez. Pomykal. Looks like we're going to see Eric Williamson coming on, the Portland Timbers midfielder. Will be his 5th appearance for his country. As Anthony Hudson looks to make a change in midfield. Dressel's ball inside, finds Aidan Morris, 21-year-old, born in Fort Lauderdale. Now Gomez down the left. Lots of blue jerseys in the middle, but that cross from Gomez is charged down. And in fact, it's out for a Serbia throw.
Take a look at that foul chance again. DeMarcus was talking about it at halftime. He's been a handful, and there's final product, and I don't think he hits this exactly the way he wants. Comes off the end of his foot a little bit, but you have to say, every time the ball comes to his feet, every time he's looking to be dangerous, and he's unsettling that Serbia defense. He's been the most dangerous player for the U.S. so far in this match.
This is Sonura. And he'll be leaving the game shortly for Eric Williamson. Sonura spending the last 3 seasons with Independiente. Pomykal sliding in, makes the challenge. Aidan Morris can bring it away. Paxton Pomykal. Carried forward here by Jonathan Gomez. Cade Cowell made that run down the left, but Gomez checks back inside for Paxton Pomykal, who signed a long-term contract extension last week through 2026 with Dallas. Their longest-serving player, Paxton Pomykal. Signed his first pro deal at the age of 16. Slonina coming a long way out of goal to head that one away.
How about that? Got to be sure of that one.
Dressel. Now Long.
Yeah, Serbia keep kind of baiting the U.S. to play into dangerous areas without even pressing the ball. The U.S. has to show a little more patience moving the ball from left to right. It's just they're forcing it into areas without even being pressured on that back line. They've got to shift this Serbian team around.
Here's a chance for Cade Cowell, who's in round the back. Oh, the post from Cade Cowell. Another chance, but it's away by Mijalovic. Gomez chasing to try and get there. Simic was across to defend for Serbia. Cade Cowell rattling the post. 10 minutes into the second half. Can they tie it up? It's Cade Cowell once again here, trying to dance his way through. Cade Cowell off the other post this time.
Oh, man.
Just needs the crossbar for a hat-trick.
Yeah, so I have to say.
Sonura, Zendejas. Now it's Gressel down the right. Lively moments. Cade Cowell at the centre of it. Zendejas. Morris dispossessed, and here comes Nikola Petkovic through the midfield. Stolic. Lucic down the left side. US scrambling to get back here as Petkovic, the 19-year-old, is able to play that ball across, and the fullback, Mijalovic, lets go from long distance. And here comes the change with Williamson getting set to come in for Sonura. But here are the posts from Cade Cowell.
He hits that well. It's spinning a little bit away from the goal. He's got the goalkeeper beat. And this one, he just keeps it alive. Did he make a save? It looked like the second one was a wonderful little fingertip save.
So Sonura's night is over.
Yeah, you feel for him, Luke. Not what he's capable of. He's a much better player than he showed. Yeah, a frustrating night for him, but I have a feeling we're going to see him get plenty of opportunities to show what he's capable of.
He was invited to the camp last January, but because of club commitments wasn't able to take that up. Of course, he was with Independiente, but now he's unattached. He was able to come to this camp. Zendejas, by the way, is only here for this first game, so they'll probably try and get 90 minutes out of him before he goes back to Club America at the weekend.
And just to remind you, we talked about it at the beginning of the game, Sonura not linked with the club. So you wonder if it's already enough pressure when you're a young player to perform when you come into January camp and you want to impress. But when you're impressed and to also get a job, he's unemployed, so to speak. He wants some of the clubs that, and I'm sure they're if they're not watching on TV, I know there's some MLS clubs that are probably in the building having a look at him.
Cade Cowell cutting in from that left side once again. The way opens up for Cade Cowell! Third time in the space of 5 minutes that he's gone close to scoring.
Just again, pace, has a look up. The ball's a little bit away from him, but does so well to catch it sweetly, and because he's reaching for it, just wicked topspin that ends up seeing it go wide. But they have no answer from Serbia. And the one thing that you'll hope is he starts getting luckier with it, hitting the post or finding the inside of the post. But also the defensive unit for Serbia is now collapsing on him. There's going to be opportunities for him to lay that ball off and find players in open positions. I mean, he's just such a threat.
Looks like a triple change coming up. We've got to see Matthew Hoppe, we've got to see Dejuan Jones. And Kellen Acosta as well. You mentioned at half-time, Cal, you wanted to see Acosta coming in. That will provide some experience in the midfield.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Kellen Acosta. I mean, what a tough midfield three to break into when you consider the first team players that have those spots solidified. But Kellen Acosta is a fantastic player.
So Hoppe, Jones, and Acosta, the players coming in. Sendejas in space on the right, wanted that one played early, would have been a big ask of Jalen Neal. They'll come through Gressel down the right side, but Sendejas couldn't get there, and away comes Nemanja Petrovic here for Serbia. Vladimir Lucic running at Gressel, twisting and turning, and Lucic creating a good opportunity there, but Gressel was able to recover and get the block in. Eric Williamson putting pressure on as they'll go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Dragan Rosic. A couple of changes also coming up very shortly for Serbia. Milos Pantovic will be coming in, and also Marko Ivazic. Williamson. Gressel's ball downfield. Brandon Vasquez trying to get there. It seems a long time ago since Brandon Vasquez scored that goal to give the US the lead. Back on the half-hour mark.
It seems a long time since he touched the ball, too. It's turned into a difficult game for him to try to find a rhythm and link up with the midfield play.
Flag is up here for offside. We'll get to that point just after the hour mark here, where both teams will make multiple changes. Vladimir Lucic is coming out of the game from the left side, and another left winger, Milos Pantovic, coming in. Came through the Red Star Belgrade Academy, now plays for Vodovac, 7th in the Serbian Superliga, so that is a straight swap on that left side. And Luka Ilic coming out, who scored the 1-1 goal with the free kick, to be replaced by defensive midfielder Marko Ivazic. So Julian Gressel comes out of the game. One debutant makes way for another. First cap for Michigan-born 25-year-old Dejuan Jones of the New England Revolution. Paxton Pomykal making way for Callan Acosta. And Brandon Vasquez will lead the game for Matthew Hoppe, who only came into camp a couple of days ago. 21-year-old California-born forward. Last appearance was on December 26th for Middlesbrough. Joined Borough last August on a 4-year deal. Hasn't had the minutes he would have wanted.
He's got a trick or two. He's a fun player to watch. And he's probably going to withdraw a little bit more, try to link up different player, and in some ways than Vasquez.
Great first touch from Cowell as he sets off down that left side. Hoppe's in the middle, it's over the top of him. Sendejas climbing. Corner.
Watch Cowell here. One touch by the defender, and he's just got that escape speed, gets his head up. That's a wonderful ball off his weaker foot. And really well defended there. Look at this Petrovic that was able to get in between.
Callan Acosta now on the set pieces, and the flick across there from Long. Two LAFC players. Acosta with the corner, and Long trying to get on the end of it. What a half Cowell is having now in the second 45 minutes. Seems to have all sorts of space down that left side. And that's looking like the most likely area right now if the US are going to be able to get back into this. 64th minute, 2-1 for Serbia. The second goal coming within a minute of the restart. Ilic had scored to tie it just before the break, and then Veljko Simic in the 46th minute. Let's go downstairs to Melissa.
Yesterday we had the moment to speak to Cade Cowell, and we asked him, what does it feel like to be back on the national team? And he said in his last camp, he got a cap, but that he wanted to do more, wanted to play more, wanted to get more minutes and get a goal and maybe assist. That's every kid's dream. He hit the post twice so far as we've seen in the second half. Anthony Hudson was happy with his performance in the first half. Let's see if he could convert now in the rest of this match.
3 goals, 5 assists in 31 appearances last year for San Jose in Major League Soccer. Only 15 starts, though. for the Earthquakes in those 31 appearances. 2021 MLS All-Star, made his debut a year before that in 2020. Neal. Acosta. Now Cal. Challenge coming in from Mijalovic. Cal was just looking to spin away there, but couldn't quite complete it. Acosta with a lovely ball out to Williamson.
Fantastic ball. And that's the thing that Kellen Acosta can do, is open up the game a little bit from that midfield position. Almost a deep playmaker that has that range of passing.
Slanina's ball away, but only as far as Dan Joveljic. And it will go out of play for a Serbia throw. Joveljic, 11 goals last year for LA Galaxy in Major League Soccer's regular season. Entering his third season with Greg Vanney's team. Petrovic down the left side. You mentioned earlier that some of these players might be looking at this as a store window to be able to maybe get a move. Certainly, a few of these Serbian players have done themselves no harm at all tonight with their performances.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you consider MLS is already watching a few of them, and 3 of the starters are applying their trade here, I think that there's a few more that are going to have some MLS clubs taking some notice.
Substitute Ivazic in the midfield there. Sit just in front of the back line. Lovely play down the left side, and Joveljic trying to get on the end of it, and across comes Jalen Neal, who started the game alongside Zimmerman. It was a planned change at half-time for Zimmerman to be replaced by Long. I loved it, the pre-game show. It was great to have Walker Zimmerman on during the warm-ups there, all mic'd up.
That was wild.
Not sure if you would have enjoyed that or not when you were going through warm-up.
I don't know if I could have handled it.
But he said, when he was asked about the fact that Anthony Hudson gave him the option, do you want to come into the camp? He said it took them less than a second to say yes.
Well, and Anthony Hudson talked a lot about the veterans being here and leaning on them to keep the attitude right, but also, yeah, just let players enjoy themselves.
Flag is up here. Slanina, we saw him a few minutes ago come a long way to get that header there. He thought about it, then he started to go back again, but it didn't matter anyway because the flag was up. US Soccer on HBO Max is brought to you by Volkswagen, presenting partner of US Soccer. We're right at the midway mark in the second half of the opening match of a new cycle for this US men's national team. An interim head coach at the moment, Anthony Hudson on the sidelines. There were 7 debuts tonight, 13 uncapped players in total in the squad, 11 of them getting their first call-up. And apart from the uncapped players, 5 more with 6 or fewer caps coming into this match tonight. Eight players in the squad, by the way, eligible for the 2024 Summer Olympics, which is, of course, the U23 competition for the men.
We know we haven't done a great job of qualifying for those, to use that experience wisely to get players to cut their teeth in international competition. But a talented young group, you'd think they'd be able to do it.
We're going to see Paul Arriola coming in.
You know, one thing I want to see in these situations is the center backs move with the ball. If they're going to allow you to have space, you know, take it. It's been so easy for Serbia just to shift side to side and close down passing lanes.
Hoppy. Gomez carrying it forward. He's got Cowell for support to the left, but Gomez will just roll it into the path of Cowell. Across goal it goes. So it's not just about the first senior appearance, it's also preparing some of these players for when they get that opportunity on a big stage like the Olympics. Cal was part of that U20 squad last summer that won the CONCACAF Under-20 Championship. To get a place at the U20 World Cup and qualify for the Olympics. 20 minutes left to play. And some more experience coming on here with Arriola. California-born midfielder from FC Dallas. Gomez down the left side. A challenge coming in from Marko Mijalovic, and another corner now for the US. Cross goes Kellen Acosta to take it. Acosta with a couple of substitute appearances in the World Cup against Wales and Iran. Acosta with a good delivery swinging in. Picked up by Zendejas as he puts it back in towards Wong. They just got enough on that one. It was Nikola Petkovic that glanced it away behind for a corner. When the change happens, it will be Arriola for Cowell. That's the word from the touchline.
Petkovic better find his position.
Acosta this time further towards the front post as it comes back out here for Aidan Morris. Williamson. Oh, now the break on here for Serbia as that was cut out. Not the best ball from Williamson, it's with Simic. US able to get the numbers back. Williamson just catching Veljko Simic there, right on halfway. At least it slows things down a little bit as Serbia had the ball and had the numbers.
Yeah, you saw what Williamson was trying to do. The first opportunity to play that diagonal ball just wasn't sitting right for him, and then just tried to force it. And this is the change we're going to see, and just you can hear a little bit of the crowd showing their appreciation. What a performance that was from Cal. Excellent tonight.
He hit both posts in the span of about 3 or 4 minutes. Also had a shot that flashed wide of the post. There was a spark in the first half as well, although the goal in the end came from the right side with Gressel's cross in towards Brandon Vasquez. If you are just joining us, it was Vasquez with a goal in the 29th minute. And then in the 43rd, Luka Ilic levelling, and Veljko Simic in the 46th minute. And that's why Serbia are in front here, as we're 18 minutes away, plus stoppage time, from the final whistle. Throw down the line here from Petrovic, the left-back. Picked up here by Kellen Acosta. Under a little bit of pressure there from Pantovic. A little too much pressure for the liking of the referee, Denian Parchment of Jamaica. Jalen Neal carrying it forward towards halfway. Anthony Hudson telling us yesterday he was hoping to get 90 minutes out of Jalen Neal.
Said he's going to.
Said he has to.
He's got no choice. These are the moments where they're just sitting on the ball a little too long. If the first option's not open, just get it off your foot. Get the ball moving fast.
Zendejas with the ball into the middle, and well covered there by Simic, the captain. Arriola giving chase here to try and get it back. Zendejas wins it back here for the US. Hoppy's in the middle. It's back for Arriola! And Dragan Rosic able to make the save. Arriola with 10 goals for the US. This is cap number 49. 31 of his previous 48 coming under Greg Berhalter. The 2022 MLS All-Star, who had 10 goals and 7 assists for Dallas. His last appearance for the US was against Saudi Arabia in September in Spain. Zendejas coming forward. He's got space to carry it to the edge of the box. He'll try and go for the top corner. We've seen he can do that.
Yeah.
He hasn't had the opportunities very regularly tonight to show it.
And he was looking for some overlapping runs. He's looking for options. He just had to hit it. And you know, it's well wide of the target. You can see he doesn't get the spin on it he's looking for, but you like that confidence. And you can see he comes alive. He just hasn't had a lot of opportunities to prove what he's capable of, especially in the attacking third. We saw the nice little soul roll back heel that went to Areola where he wasn't able to finish it, but we're seeing glimpses of what he's capable of.
Serbia getting set to make another change, but not before the US have this attack forward, and Acosta couldn't find the ball through for Hoppe. Joveljic. Dejuan Jones just gets that taken off in there, and it's an opportunity for Stolic to bring it forward. Stolic and Petrovic linking up, but just couldn't quite keep the ball in play there, Aidan Morris. And here comes the change. It's going to be Filip Damjanovic of Voždovac, Belgrade-born defender. And he's going to replace Veljko Simic, who right now is the match winner.
Yeah, he was good tonight. Simic wasn't forced enough to have to go defend and do the things he didn't want to do. And very dynamic. Some great interplay with the attacking players. He's a strong player. I know there's a lot of clubs that want to see a player that can obviously bury chances, but just the final third for young players getting opportunities with their national team. Every time he was in the final third, it looked dangerous. Great ideas, good performance from him.
And with a defender coming on for an attacker, it might go back to the more familiar back three that we see at senior international level from Serbia.
Yeah, see this out. Have a back unit of four and not allow any space in those wide positions.
Aidan Morris carrying it forward. Gomez. That went off the head there of Stojic. So Damjanovic, Stojic and Veselinovic, the three in the middle now, with Majalovic and Petrovic either side. Serbia expecting probably they'll have some defending to do here. It's Williamson!
He does really well to follow up his first chance, and he catches this sweetly, just a little baby bounce. He's just always rising above the bar. Tremendous pace on that one. I would say overall, the moments that the U.S. were able to put a little pressure on the ball, especially counter-pressing when they were in possession and gave the ball away, they found so much joy there. We just haven't seen it coordinated and consistent enough.
Zendejas down the right side. Morris. Zendejas. Williamson rushing across to slide in there. He's done well. Dejuan Jones driving towards the byline. Pulling that one back. Areola! Out for a corner for the United States.
That all starts with Kellen Acosta. It's so important. We talked about Tyler Adams, and we were saying Morris has got to learn that. Acosta's got that in his bag, too. And it's because he reads that play, he commits, he makes the challenge, that they create that chance. Great save.
Acosta's outswinger is glanced away to the edge of the box. Flicked further clear there by Pantovic. Gomez finds Acosta. First time ball down the line towards Dejuan Jones. Jones skipping away from the first challenge, and then Petkovic sliding in to put it behind for another US corner here with a little over 10 minutes remaining at BMO Stadium in LA.
Little tick up in intensity, substitutions, making a difference. Little double step over here. And right here, he's got a chance to put it in. That touch just provides an opportunity for the challenge to come in.
Acosta, since coming on, has delivered some dangerous balls from these set-piece situations. This time it's in towards the back post. Zendejas goes down under the challenge and then comes back out for Acosta once again. Some nervy moments here for Serbia, having thrown on the extra defender. Dejuan Jones into the box. Zendejas. It was a bit of an appeal for a handball, half-hearted. Another change coming for Serbia. It will be Luka Veljovic and replacing Nikola Petkovic.
Yeah, it's interesting, sometimes the psychology of the game is everything, but sometimes moving into more of a defensive posture invites more pressure on you and makes it harder to see a game out rather than easier.
Petkovic, the 19-year-old in midfield. Bjelavic, just a couple of years older, plays for Spartak in Serbia. More of a winger, 19 appearances this season, 4 goals. Scored the winner against Partizan in the penultimate game before the break. They've had a really long break, usually a winter break in Serbia, but they stopped before the World Cup and they don't start again until February the 4th.
Yeah, as amazing as that World Cup was, the impact of it being in the winter is going to carry on for a little while.
Zendejas, lovely footwork. Shrugs off the challenge there of Ivasic. And now down the right side, Dejuan Jones with the cross into the middle. Gomez. Gomez with the cross from the opposite side. Serbia holding on as that one goes off. Damjanovic.
Yeah, Gomez finally getting a chance to attack now that the Cowell's not out there. I mean, he never even caught up with Cowell. And now he's getting on the ball and showing what he's capable of.
Acosta whipping that one in towards Areola. Zendejas. Little ball into the middle. Headed away there at the back. Zendejas coming to life late in the game. Acosta running over to the near side now to take the outswinger. 8 minutes plus stoppage time left to be played as Acosta's ball into the middle is headed away at the front post. Damjanovic was the one to connect with it. Quickly across there is Morris. Acosta comes away with that ball as he looks for Jones to chase. And it'll just be watched out of play by Mijalovic. Well, it's a game that's certainly delivered entertainment. And the US coming on strong here towards the end of this one as they look for the leveling goal.
I mean, you can see what injecting a little bit of experience can do, not only to the intensity, but the composure and the creativity of this team. Costa has definitely upped the intensity, and he's brought players into the game, and the set pieces have been phenomenal.
Dejuan Jones going back to Slonina.
You wonder if, and you have to say, of course he is. Greg Berhalter sitting at home right now watching this team. It's got to be a strange experience for him. You ask me, he's definitely still in the running for the U.S. job. There's a lot of decisions that need to be made by the hierarchy of U.S. soccer moving into the beginning of this cycle, and wonder what Greg Berhalter thinks of this young side. He'll know these players well, and he knows this system because he built it.
Didn't quite work there as they look to link up between Gomez and Areola on the far side. There's a look at Anthony Hudson, who has stepped up to take charge of this team on an interim basis, just 41 years of age. Neal's headed forward towards Areola down the left side, and out of play off Filip Damjanovic. Gomez. Jones. Zendejas. Lovely turn from Zendejas, then he's fouled, and a yellow card will come here from the referee for Nemanja Petrovic.
And you could see, Luke, a player like Zendejas, he gains confidence and he gets more dynamic, he gets more interested, he gets harder to defend. I mean, he's just grown into the game every chance he's gotten to take players on. And just the first half, I think, was so frustrating. He never got into the rhythm of what he's showing right now.
Williamson into the middle for Neal. Hoppy dropping deep to get on the end of that one. It's cleared away by Damjanovic.
Hoppy's really struggled to get into the game.
Matthew Hoppy in for his 7th international appearance. Replaced Brandon Vasquez, who got a goal on his debut. Ball played over the top. Zendejas is chasing here. He goes down. He wants a penalty. Arms raised in request to the referee. Anthony Hudson was doing the same on the near touchline here and is now talking to the 4th official.
I wonder if the lack of control here, because as the ball comes through, the referee, I think from his position, might feel that shoulder to shoulder. I think it's the right no call. It's a close one.
Dejuan Jones down the right side in space. Zendejas making the run into the box. Couldn't get on the end of it. Jones again with a chance here on the near side. Williamson. Fouled by Joveljic. And this will be an opportunity for Callum Acosta to swing the ball into the box.
Coming up! Coming up! Coming up!
Long and Neal, the 2 central defenders, both forward from the back. Acosta straight off Joveljic. Dejuan Jones with the ball into the middle. Flicked away by Ivazic, and then it's played across goal. Zendejas wanting to try and provide that moment of magic that can pull the US back level here.
Well, as you already mentioned, this is the only game in this camp he's going to be playing. Nice little note to leave behind. Last 15 minutes of this performance, 20 minutes of this performance is a nice little message to the coaching staff of what he's capable of.
One-time roommate of Christian Pulisic at the under-17 residency in Bradenton. Pulisic, of course, not in the camp and injured at the moment. Strong run forward here, over halfway, as Morris gets the challenge in on Bjelić. And a yellow card shown to Aidan Morris.
Yeah, you don't mind that. At that point, he's beat. He's got to make the foul. Let his team recover.
Aidan Morris getting the 90 minutes tonight, the 21-year-old Columbus midfielder on his US debut. Led backwards by Petrovic. Veselinovic, the Vancouver man, earning his 2nd cap tonight, getting that ball across to Stojic. Damjanovic going all the way back to the goalkeeper Rosic, who came on for the 2nd half after a change at half-time, with the New England goalkeeper Georgi Petrovic going off. It was a pre-planned swap. And Serbia, here's Gomez coming forward, that's a foul. Mijalovic might well get a yellow here as well, as the referee finally starts going to his pocket now for the final few minutes of this one. The cards stayed away until the final 15.
Well done, Gomez. As I said before, we didn't see much from him, which really wasn't his fault. Cal was performing so well, he didn't get involved in the attacking third. Now we've seen him create some opportunities, and a very dangerous set-piece opportunity, especially with how Kellen Acosta's been serving the ball in.
Last minute of the 90. And we're hearing 5 minutes may be added on. Kellen Acosta swings this one in, and Long can't get there. Just too much on it. And you can see Acosta frustrated with his delivery, and we just bigged up the way that he'd been putting the balls in from set pieces, and right at the moment that it really mattered at the end here, He just overhit it a little bit. Colombia to come in Carson Dignity Health Sports Park on Saturday. Picked up by Acosta. Gomez. Next up for Serbia with a much different looking squad will be Euro 2024 qualifying in the March window. They group with Hungary, Montenegro, Bulgaria and Lithuania. Zendejas. Still Zendejas. This is Acosta. Gomez in space on the left side.
It was the right idea from Acosta. It had to be first time. He just underhits it slightly.
Morris turning the ball backwards for Jalen Neal. Gomez. Goes off Bijalovic. 1 minute of the 5 being added on has elapsed here in downtown LA. Acosta's ball curled out towards Zendejas, but quickly out there Nemanja Petrovic, who has had a decent game at left back for Serbia. Gomez is just getting back to his feet on the far side. But it's Nemanja Petrovic down. He's got one of the 2 yellow cards for Serbia. And he'll need a bit of treatment here. Won the Serbian Superliga with Partizan Belgrade back in 2015. The oldest player in the squad, 30 years old, when he gets the opportunity to make his debut for his country. US haven't lost the first match of a calendar year since 2015. It was a 3-2 defeat against Chile. They've won their last 4 in a row, but 3 minutes away from defeat against Dragan Stojkovic's very young Serbian team. An experimental night for both sides out here tonight. Some positives for Anthony Hudson. A learning experience for some of these players who are getting their first opportunity to represent their country. Whatever happens, a night they won't forget.
Yeah,
right?
It's a special moment. You always remember the first time you put that jersey on, you get a chance to come out and have the honor of representing your country.
Ball swept into the box. Long is forward. Ariola picks it up here. Finds Williamson. Couple of minutes of stoppage time remaining as Aidan Morris plays this one back for Callan Acosta. Gomez on the left side. The crossing is headed away by Ivazic. Then Juan Jones is underneath this one. Under pressure from Jovalic, the Galaxy man. Zendejas turning. Lovely link-up play between him and Williamson down the right side. And then just out of play by Aidan Morris, who holds his head in his hands. What a lovely move, though, until it broke down.
He's covered a lot of ground, Morris. He's worked really hard tonight. Has to be gassed.
Aidan Morris was a guest player at the pre-World Cup fitness camp in Frisco last October. As the US called in some MLS players whose season was over to help out in World Cup preparations. Is there to be a moment of late drama here to cap the night in LA? Gomez pushing it forward to Ariola down the left. Jalen Neal, 19 years old. We might see a bit more of him for the Galaxy in the first team in MLS this coming season. Just a couple of moments where things broke down a little bit defensively. One was the wall for the free kick, the other one right at the start of the second half where things just fell apart a little bit at the back. And that's why Serbia hold the advantage here in the final few seconds. Jones. Back for Slonina. Last opportunity here as Hoppy couldn't flick it on. There was an injury in stoppage time, so there might be a little bit more time here. Referee having a look at his watch. Will allow play to continue here as Nemanja Petrovic, who was the one that was down, will take plenty of time before throwing this one in. Down the line to Stolic. Nikola Stolic, one of the substitutes here in the second half for Serbia. Inside for Joveljic. Joveljic with the captain's armband on. After Simic left the game.
Joveljic not getting a lot of opportunities tonight. Getting in positions where he can really show his goal-scoring prowess. He's excellent in scoring big goals for the Galaxy, coming off the bench a little more dangerous, and just didn't get a lot of opportunities in the final third today.
Here's Areola. Areola's long ball into the middle. Aaron Long is forward, but Rosic, the keeper, comes and just falls onto the ball. Serbia will hope that's the last action. There might be a few more seconds still to be added here. Dragan Rosic taking his time. Play continues. Jalen Neal underneath it. And now it's Acosta. Free kick given for Serbia for a high boot there as Nikola Stolic goes to ground. Stay with us for a full 30-minute post-game show from pitch side. Sarah Walsh, Julie Foudy, DeMarcus Beasley. Kyle will make the quick trip downstairs for the post-game. Mihalovic playing this one in towards the edge of the box. Now it's Joveljic. He'll have a go from distance. Straight at Slonina. Now into the 8th minute of time being added on. It's over in LA, and Serbia will leave with a victory. The US falling to a 2-1 defeat despite taking the lead in the first half as Brandon Vasquez, one of the many debutants on the night, scored his first goal. But it was Luka Ilic just before half-time and Veljko Simic just after. Gaga Slonina, the youngest goalkeeper in US history, 18 years of age, but he was